Okay, so today we're going to go over the operation of the Emulsiflex C-3. There's two instruments here. They're virtually identical. First thing to do before you start is to check that the house air pressure, which is this blue line, actually has pressure in it. There's a manifold over here. It has a gauge reading 90 psi. That's typical for the house air pressure. There are two lines coming off the manifold, one for each instrument. They're not always connected. So if your instrument is not connected, it's not going to work. So you can just connect that in the back with a quick connect. So the instrument basically, you've got a reservoir, a check valve, this is the pump body, another check valve, the homogenizing valve, the pressure gauge, the outlet tubing. In terms of controls, there's an off button, an on button, and this knob that controls the input air pressure. If you want to start it, turn this guy, and then press the start button. The sample reservoir holds about 250 mils of glycine. Alright, so to start it, I already pre-washed the funnel. There's a bottle brush by the sink and some soap. You can use to clean things if you want to beforehand. You definitely have to clean it afterwards. I just put some buffer in here. I'm going to see how things look. So turn this, press start, and here it goes. So that looks perfect. Basically, liquid is flowing out. It's just kind of pulsing, and that has to do with the way the system is set up. Basically, there's a reciprocating piston in here. On one stroke, it pulls liquid from the reservoir through the check valve into the pump body. On the next stroke, it pushes that liquid through the other check valve into the homogenizing valve. So pulling and then pushing, and that's why you see that pulsing. Okay, so the sample gets heated quite a bit during homogenization. Basically, for every 1,000 psi the cells encounter, they increase in temperature 1 degree Celsius. So we like to lyse around 15,000 psi, which means if our cells go in at 4 degrees, they're going to come out at 19, basically. So we use this cooling coil over here to cool our cells back down to 4 degrees. The most effective way to cool the sample, put a bunch of ice in the beaker, boil the water, set it here, put it back. Alright, pour sample in. Hold this over top so I can see the sample pulsing going through. Adjust this knob. I'll adjust it up to about 30 psi. And we're going to see momentary pause in the stream. So that was basically just perfect. And then we start to see pressure building here. So it's around 5,000 at the moment. Increase it half a turn. Gets us to 10,000, another half a turn, and we're at 15,000. So right now the sample's just recirculating through the system. So transfer it over to the bottle, wrap this on ice, make sure the sample's in, the cooling coil is in ice water bath. That ice will melt pretty quickly. If you're doing large sample volumes, so you want to add ice at regular intervals as it melts. So I've got 2 bottles, it's the same glycate, same suspension. I'll just pour it in here. Top, and collect in one bottle. So sometimes you see this, especially initially in the first pass, that the system may pause. Sometimes it'll keep going on its own, it'll restart, like we just did right now. If not, sometimes using the tool can help. As I said, there's a ceramic ball inside this check valve on top of the spring, and you can just drop this in, and that will actually just touch that. Basically, it lands right on the ceramic ball, and that can help with the check valve opening. If need be, you can give it a little tap. But do not press it down hard. If you do press it down hard, you'll compress the spring that's in here, it'll get pushed into a little channel, and the valve's not going to work properly at all. Alright, so all the samples gone from the reservoir. But if you look closely, you'll see the tubing is still full of sample. So there's about 10 mils of sample still left in the pump body, homogenizing valve, and outlet tubing. So you want to release the pressure here to get that last 10 mils of sample to come out. There it is, that's running out. Okay, while that's draining, we can start cleaning. So the shackle, you do the shackle, take off the reservoir. On the bottom of the reservoir, there's a flange. Usually, it might be here, might be in the reservoir. And now we're going to clean both of these things with some bottle brush over here at the sink and some soap. Usually a couple of water bottles here. Like that, just rinse off the top. Just get that cleaned out. That. Flange back on, reservoir on top, shackle on, there's a bottle of water here, pour in say 20-25 mils just to clean up the tubing. Pour some alcohol in, 25 mils or so. Let it run out of the tubing. See it's coming out. Hit stop so that we've got this part here stored in alcohol. The alcohol is empty. Typically, underneath the sink there's a bottle of isopropanol or denatured alcohol. And you can just make up 70% alcohol using those bottles as well as DI water from the tap. Lastly, store things. Put the tubing into this little beaker. It's all nice and tidy. And then put this cap on top just to keep anything from falling into the system. There it is. Everything's stopped. That's it. Instrument's always left on. So that's it. Remember to use the Google Calendar to sign up. That's how I track usage of the instrument. If there are any issues, email me. There's also a log book. You can note things in if you want, but the best way to communicate issues is to just email me directly. Okay, so if there's a plug in the instrument, the easiest way to clear it is usually just to blast water through the system, and that hopefully will dislodge anything that's clogging the valves. So disconnect the outlet tubing, fill the reservoir with water, air hose that normally powers the pressure has been disconnected from the back. Just put this in the top here and use that pressure to push the water through quickly. Careful not to point the speaker at yourself, you'll get splashed. Splash back on the instrument, in which case just clean it off. You can reconnect the tubing, the outlet tubing. Reconnect the hose, air hose in the back of the instrument. And then you're all set and ready to go. Normally I would advise blasting water through here probably 3 times to make sure it's cleared of your clog. But other than that, that's the easiest way to clear any issue with clog in the valves, other than using the tool.